Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Now, when I put out yesterday's video, Noise and Noisecore, wasn't expecting it to get too many views, if I'm honest with you, because that's the kind of music that even if you're into the most extreme stuff, that's another level on top of that, and you know, it's really not for most people. But I wanted to put it out there yesterday, see, you know, if it did get any views, see who did check it out, and I was actually very, very pleased with the amount of views that it did get, 200 odd views or something like that, which is pretty cool. So it tells me that the audience that I've got watching this channel will at least, you know, check out stuff that's totally out of the ordinary and really hard to listen to and just, you know, see what it's like. I don't expect too many people really enjoyed it and are now massive Noisecore fans, but at least you got exposed to it, got to check it out and see what it's all about. And I like it that my channel is going to be a way to do that. Very, very cool. Now, the band that we've got to check out today, a returning band. They made an exclusive submission this time, and we just had them on out the free queue last time, I think it was. So that's very cool. So what I'm hoping to do with these bands, once you've been on the channel once, you keep coming back, keep showing us your music. Let us be on board with the band. Love it. But we haven't seen these guys for over a year now. They were on the channel first in January 2021, which seems like a long time ago now. And they're back today with a brand new track. But what I think we're going to do as well is check out that old previous track as well, just to remind ourselves what it was like, fill out the video, and get a bit more of a flavour of this band, see what they're all about. So this is Order 46. The latest track they've got for us today with an official vid is called The Quest. But I just realised from playing this video now that it's actually, unfortunately guys, this one's come out in mono and at a lower volume than I'm sure it was mixed at. So whoever did the video, when they rendered it down, some of the settings must have been wrong in terms of the audio, and unfortunately it's come out in mono. But never mind, it's going to be all right still, because they've got a cool video to check out as well. This one's called The Quest. Let's give it a spin. Got a nice kit as well. In the mix as well. drummer's doing nice electric bits. Yeah. Drummer killed it on this one, really kept the beat high and nice. Doing a great job, but just adding in extra bits here and there all over the place, little bit splashes, bringing in the double bass so it sounded super heavy, just mixing it up all the time, big long fill into the next section on that one part, bit of a blast beat as well. So yeah, drummer was really spicing this one up to just take it to the next level. How drummers can when they do all those extra things. We get quite a lot of metalcore bands come through where the drummers are just keeping the beat, do a little bit of a fill into the next section, and that might be the most spiciest thing you get from them. But I love it when a drummer comes through like this who's just ripping away, doing all sorts of stuff, and taking it to the next level, taking the whole track to the next level because the drums are so interesting and spicy. He did a sick job. And I really like his white kit as well. I think if I had a drum kit, I always thought, man, a nice white kit would be dope. So it looked very cool. And they looked all cool on stage as well with the setup and everything. Dope. Cool video. Man, it's a real shame though that this track came out in mono and at a lower volume than it should have been. And I'm actually thinking that I would consider re-uploading this one with the proper audio, which is an absolute pain in the arse when, you know, you've said, oh, this is the date we're releasing this track and all the rest of it. But I don't know, it's just come out kind of way less good sounding than I think it does sound on the record, that I think it would be worth re-uploading this one with the proper audio so that people get a real proper good sound of it. Because if new people to the band are going to check in on your latest release and this is what they hear, it's not going to be the best representation of your sound. So I know it's a massive pain in the ass to re-upload things. It just kind of throws everything out of sync. But I would consider it for this one because it just hasn't come out right, unfortunately, with the audio. And, you know, that is the most important part. But from what we could hear, it still sounded dope. You could hear the grizzly bass in the mix, which sounded nice, gave it an extra level of heaviness. Because this music reminded me of kind of when you first started to get metalcore coming out of the gate, and it's not really classic metalcore, but it's got that hardcore, metallic hardcore crossover kind of out the gates kind of thing. It reminded me of bands like the early Atreyu and things like that, which is stuff I love. So I really like this. It's got the hardcore beat, it picks itself up, but then it widens out a bit for the choruses and goes a bit more melodic and riffy in the guitars and things like that, which is the more metal elements coming into the music. But it's still got that kind of jump up, D-beat kind of beat to it as well, in a hardcore sense. So it's a nice crossover. You don't hear it so much nowadays because kind of metalcore has moved on in all the ways that it has, but I still very much appreciate the classic metalcore, the metallic hardcore days, kind of 2001, 2002, when this stuff was really starting to break through. It sounded dope then, it still sounds dope today. So yeah, I enjoy it a lot. It's just got a good energy to it. I like the aggression in the vocals, and I like the extra metal elements that aren't just in hardcore music. Sick! So let's check out their other track as well, just to remind ourselves what they sounded like a year ago as well. This track is called Torch, again with an official video, which is very, very nice. Oh, better make sure it's on the screen. Here we go. Oh, has this one come out a bit quiet as well? It's not in mono. Let's crank it up. Whoever's doing these guys' videos need to work on the audio, unfortunately. I remember when we watched this last video now, I said about the drummer being dope and his nice white kit. Yeah. Just adding in extra spicy bits to make it sound extra cool, take it to the next level. A ting on the ride or a bass slide is the coolest thing you can put into a breakdown, in my opinion. Nice drumming. These guys have got a nice energy to them, and I'm going to say that what takes this band to the next level over another kind of classic metalcore, metallic hardcore band is the drumming. And they know that because they've let the drummer, they've given him the air, give him the space to do his thing and just be extra spicy and show off and, you know, take the track to the next level with all the extra spicy bits he brings into the music, you know, because when you're doing chugging and just kind of, you know, big crashes and stuff, there's a lot of empty space in there that can be filled with something. It can't be filled with the guitars, obviously, because they're the ones doing the chug. But you can fill it with the cool cymbal sounds, that what the drummer did, and extra fills, mixing it up each time. So every time it comes round to the end of the bar, it's a different fill to the last one. So it's not just, you know, repetitious in that way. Each time it's different and interesting. Bass slide sounded amazing. So these guys know that, you know, there's space in their music for the drummer to do extra fancy stuff, for the bass to come through. They let that roll through in both tracks. So, you know, they're working the breakdowns in a kind of more next level way than a standard band would have done it. And that takes this band to the next level, makes them interesting, and, you know, makes the tracks kind of just that more spicy to listen to, you know, because you've heard this isn't super fresh music that you've never heard before. You know, it is chuggy, kind of classic metallic hardcore, but because it's got all those extra layers on it and frills and kind of cherries on top, it makes it nicer than a standard band to listen to it, and catches your ear more. So fair play to the drummer in this band for taking them to the next level with his extra stuff. A fair play for the rest of the band for letting him do that, and recognizing that that's, you know, one of the ways that this band is going to head into the next level. Because when you've got a super nice drummer, you know, you've got to let them do their thing, because it in my opinion, drumming is still the most unexplored instrument within band music, and then the bass after that. But drummers, they're still coming up with original beats and grooves and fills and ways to work the track, different ways of working with the riffs as well. One of the bands we checked out last week, which was super dope, was a death metal band who had slow moving riffs, but absolutely ridiculous blasting on the drums, and it created a really cool double edge within the music that you really don't hear. And the way that the drummer worked with the guitarist was really different. It just shows you again that that I really think drummers are one of the ways that you can take your band to the next level, even if you play in music, classic kind of music, because bands that didn't have those next level super dope drummers didn't have all those extra frills and cherries on top. So I think it's super sick. I always go on about drummers. Man, if you watch this channel, you know I absolutely love drummers and I talk about it all the time. But when a drummer comes through like this with the extra stuff on top, you've got to talk about it, because it's the thing that separates this band from a lot of the other metallic hardcore bands that we've listened to that didn't have that in their music, that I said, man, it'd be cool if you did that in your music. I'm not saying that to this guy, I'm just praising him up for doing it. Sick. So there you go, that's what this band sounds like. I would still consider re-uploading that first video, because unfortunately it came out quiet and in mono, which is kind of got double screwed over in that way. So that's a real shame. Just going to have to look at what you're doing with the video there when you're rendering it down, that the audio settings are stereo and high bit rate. Just have to look into it. But there you go. Hope you've enjoyed those bands today, guys. That's what I've got. Oh, bands. That band today, but the different tracks that we listened to, I've enjoyed both of them. This is my kind of music still. This was the music I was listening to 20 years ago now, but when it was fresh at the time, and I thought it absolutely kicked ass, and I've still got a love for it now, never stop loving it. So there you go. Hope you've had a good day today, guys. We'll see you around. Cheers. Bye.